Maybe. Let's go. Hello and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. My name is Steve Boshier and I will be your game master for the evening. If you don't know this channel, this is Shadows of Archonia, where we play all kinds of tabletop role-playing games. We do ongoing stories at our in-person table on Fridays. On Monday nights like tonight, we do this show, Tales from the Backlog, where we try out as many games as we can in whatever amount of sessions seems reasonable to us at the time.
This is rinse and repeat. Yeah.
This is our first time in Root, the role-playing game, which I know Jason has had and wanted to play for some time. Well, I only got introduced to recently, so hopefully we'll do pretty well at it. But if you like what we're doing here, you can come talk to us in our Discord. That is where we all hang out. It's not like a patron-only Discord or anything. You can just come hang out with us. All of our people there, casts from both shows, and putting the link in the chat, Discord or Twitch and YouTube both. We're streaming to both right now. And if you really like what we do, come join us on our Patreon. We appreciate the support of all our patrons who help bring this show to you. But before we get into tonight's game, why don't we go around and introduce our players and our characters, starting with Mia.
Brief introduction. I'm Mia. I've been, Steve brought me on board, what? I don't even remember. 3 years ago? Goodness.
First session was December 2020.
And that was Hyper-Tellurians?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Anyway, here we are playing Root. My character is a, let me pull back up my sheet. A character type or archetype is the Arbitrator. My name is Nesta Duskclaw. I am a badger with a big hammer. Think Honey Badger don't care. That's kind of the attitude that she will have.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
I'm Jason. Surprisingly, I've been here about as long as Mia's been here. So yeah, that's an anniversary. That's
4 years, yeah.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago. Wow.
We celebrated the 5-year anniversary of the channel earlier this year, but this show didn't start until end of 2020.
Yep. I remember.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seemed like a good thing to do during the pandemic.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm Jason. I'm playing Zero, the Hag. Zero is his playbook is the Scoundrel. And he's a bit of a pyromaniac. He's a little red bat. He's just a little fluffy little guy who likes to light fires to things and is really, really not into centralized authorities. Yeah. And he, like, when he's really in his groove, he's got his big coat on and he's got a hag mask with antlers coming out the forehead. And it's really scary to, like, for the other animals, because it's actually like a human-looking face, even though I don't think humans really exist here. So it's just extra monstrous.
There seems to be a subtle hint in, like, the backstory section on the Woodland early in the book that this might be post-apocalyptic and the humans are all dead.
Good riddance.
No, no kidding.
Patty.
Okay, well, I took the playbook The Ranger. My name is Gable. I'm a Martin, like a spruce Martin. And I don't know what to say, really. Really new to this game. I've been playing with you guys, a year?
Something like that.
Something like that. We were big fans, and we came on, and we've had a blast ever since. Cindy is my wife. Anyways, I am Gable. I have a good relationship with Sable. We are actually related in this game as well. We come from a clearing called Dandelion. It was destroyed along with our family by the cat faction. I'm sorry, the
Marquisate.
Marquisate cat people. Well, I'm basically a loner. I do a lot of foraging. I can make potions. I am a ranged weapon specialist. And I just like to be in the wild and be close to my people. And I'm a dirty fighter.
We never quite understood that term. You're either fighting or you're not. You want to win?
Yeah, and I do it dirtily. So, that's me.
All right.
All right. I am Sable, sister to Gable. And as Gable mentioned, we were a couple of few that escaped the fight between the Alliance and the Marquisate cats that were fighting. We were trying to help the Alliance. It didn't go well. It's basically a bloodbath. I took the Thief playbook. I try to stay inconspicuous with my robe and black cape as much as possible so that I can pick your pockets, everybody. That's your only warning. I am a pretty little thief.
That's your only warning.
I'm very friendly, though. So there's that.
So that's how she gets close, just so you know.
All right. Well, hello to Misery and Yuri in the two different chats. I guess they don't want to chat with each other, but and anyone else who's watching and not chatting, welcome. Before we get started, I'll just explain a little bit of the sort of world that we're in. So this is the Woodland, and I have a map. I'm going to put it up. You always generate your own map for this. They do have a couple of ones you can buy, but they're physical ones, and they weren't very useful to me in this format. Also, I wouldn't have had time for shipping, considering when I found them. But I made this using the tools in the book. They have tables you can roll on, and then you can draw out this map with some help from Incarnate and stock images of these animals from Motion Array. So that's fun. But the history of this place is thus. The Woodland is what the denizens of this forest have carved out to live in. Many years ago, maybe centuries ago, it was taken over and ruled for a long time by the Eyrie dynasties, which was an organization run by birds who believed that birds were the natural rulers of the forest because they're above everyone. And they held sway for a long time, even though there was a lot of infighting, because you may have noticed it's called the Eyrie dynasties, plural. They all eventually fell out, and the Great Civil War happened when all the different factions within that faction began turning on each other. And eventually there was a long period called, what was it called? I have so many PDFs open. There was a long period of time where nobody was really in charge, and it was basically anarchy. The clearings returned to the rule of the denizens who lived there. And then, after a while, a force from outside called the Marquisate moved in, ruled by a cat, and the Marquisate started taking over the clearing and industrializing folks and bringing sort of wealth and stability in a way, but also a conquering force taking over all these clearings. Around a similar time to when the Marquisate moved in, the Eyrie dynasty started to try and reassert itself and also started conquering more and more clearings, which of course did not sit well with some of the locals who founded the Woodland. Somebody help me out. I'm basing on
Woodland Alliance.
The Woodland Alliance is a sort of underground movement. At this time, at least in our version, of the Woodland here. The Woodland Alliance does not actually control any clearings, but these two with the green dots have a very strong Woodland Alliance presence in the form of underground cells, private meetings, things like that. Our game tonight is going to take place in Patchwood, or at least start there. You guys do have the option of journeying. And this game's going to be very player-driven by design. The interbellum, that's the word. Thank you, Jason. So before we get into any setting of scenes, I'd like to do our daring exploit. So you guys are already a band of vagabonds. Yes, sir.
Do you want to do the daring exploit or our connections first?
As soon as I called on you, that clicked in my brain, and I knew what you were going to say. I think we should do the connections first. That makes more sense. So on your character sheet, each of you has 2 connections listed with a fill-in-the-blank sort of thing, and these are to be used with each other. So, for example, Nesta, as the Arbiter, has one called Protector. I once protected blank from a mortal blow during a fight, and I would do it again, why? And then another one called Partner, blank, and I helped a faction take control of a clearing. So I'd like to spend this time getting all of those connections filled in, which will help flesh out your backstory with each other.
Okay.
Could I just quickly drop that maybe I helped Cable at one point, since we are both from someplace not here?
Yes. You said Gable, right?
Gable.
Gable.
I wanted to say Cable. Gable, it's a G.
Oh, no, not an X-Man. Okay.
Okay, so we have a connection then?
I did a protector move on you there. Again, just kind of like to reiterate, like, Nesta, I am from someplace else. I maybe stumbled into your community and helped you guys all escape from the oppressive powers. I think more like a Ronin. I'm basically like a shogunless wanderer.
No, I think that's from the second book.
So you protected
Which
us.
I don't have. Yeah.
You helped us escape Dandelion, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was from this book.
All right.
Thank you.
So that's your Protector.
So you would probably have the same connection with Sable.
Right, because I have friends spring to get me out of holding, whether they bailed me out or rescued me, so I owe them. So that could be my connection to you, Nesta,
All right.
because you rescued me from Dandelion along with Gable.
That
Okay.
works. Yeah, obviously the mechanical benefit only goes to one person, but since Sable and Gable are always together, we can assume that narratively it was both of them.
Yeah, which of you is the better fighter between the two of you?
Probably Gable. I'm more of a sneaky little bastard.
Okay.
Right, and I have some extra weapon skills that don't count towards my max.
Okay,
So that
just
would probably
curious.
be me, because I have improvise and confuse senses and trick shots. So,
I've got one weapon skill. So
so that might be me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what do you have to fill in there, Zero?
All right, so I was waiting for things to settle down.
Sure.
Because I was gonna ask, out of the three of you, Sable, Gable, and Nesta, who really doesn't like the Marquisette?
Oh, yeah, that would be Gable and we despise them. They just basically destroyed our town.
And our families.
Yep. Our friends.
Which one of the two of you would you? I got a thief and a ranger, right?
Yes.
You know what, Sable? At some point, Sable and I destroyed a bunch of the Marquisette's resources on behalf of their local denizens.
I like that.
We burned that shit we burned that factory to the ground.
Nice.
So what's going to happen here is that each of us is marking two positive prestige with denizens.
Okay.
And 2 notoriety with the Marquisette.
Oh, this is hard on my. Here we go. 1, 2.
Also, during play, if we are spotted together, then any prestige or notoriety gains with those factions are doubled for us both.
Okay.
Those factions being Marquisate and Denizens.
Yes.
Okay. Now I've made it to -1 with the Marquisate. Do I need? I feel like I need to do something.
Nice.
I believe what you do is highlight or circle that -1 and then clear the boxes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's see if my PDF thingy will let me do that.
It won't let you.
It
It
didn't.
won't.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I'll keep it. I'll write.
Yeah,
I'll just
write it
remember.
down. That's probably the best way.
Yeah.
And
Well, is it possible that I would have had to steal something important in order to make that happen?
I don't know.
Probably.
Because I have that as
That's
a
up to you.
personal connection. I stole something important that someone needed or craved. Either, so I don't know. Maybe I stole
Yeah, you. So
dynamite.
some explosives.
Yeah.
You could have liberated some explosives from the Marquisette industrial site that you helped me burn down.
Which would mean if I share information with you after reading a tense situation, we both benefit from the +1 for acting on the answers.
Ooh.
If we help them while they attempt a roguish feat, I gain choices on the help move as if I had marked 2 exhaustion.
Ooh, nice.
You mark 1. So I think it's saying I mark 1 instead of 2. Is that what it means?
Hold on.
Yeah.
You're thief, right? So both benefit the +1. Help them while they attempt a roguish feat. You gain choices on the help move as if you had marked. Okay, so what happens is when you help. Let me scroll down to help. That's here somewhere. Probably overshot it. Yep, I definitely overshot it.
So yeah, it's help or interfere. When you help or interfere with another vagabond, mark exhaustion to add +1 or -2 to their roll. Mark exhaustion again to select one of the following. Conceal your help or interference, create an opportunity or obstacle. So I guess what that connection is saying is that you can mark both of those exhaustions for the price of 1, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can conceal your help or interference or create an opportunity for free after you help.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Got it. Think.
Well,
And also, just because I didn't think to mention it earlier, Zero is actually from this clearing. Specifically, he is from Pinehorn, although he doesn't really like going back there because he is wanted He is definitely wanted by the local area authorities because when he was somewhat younger, he may or may not have burned down half the community. He was, I couldn't tell you particulars, but if that did happen, it was completely justified and they deserved it.
Of course.
Accidents happen.
Oopsie.
Accidents happen and are completely justified and they deserved it.
Yeah, I still had partner to add to mine. I was going to add Gable to that.
Yeah, I was trying to just popcorn around a little bit, but
Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead. Hop around.
I think, we are
Please do.
definitely back to you at this point. So you wanted to mark who?
Gable. Gable and I together helped a faction take control of a clearing and share responsibility for it.
Okay.
Makes sense that the ranger and I would have done that together. Yeah.
What clearing do you think that was and which faction?
It was probably the Erie,
Okay.
just to
Yeah.
so what do you got? What do you got there, Jason? You can say something?
Who did you mark as your other connection?
Gable was my anyway.
So they're
Yeah,
both
Gable's protection.
they're both
You're,
Gable.
you're doing Gable for both of them?
Is that allowed?
Maybe Sable more for the protector side of things.
I probably would need more protection. I've got a little teeny
Okay.
weeny dagger.
So Sable is my protector of Sable and partner of Gable.
That makes sense. Yeah, and I know I'm zoomed out, but just in case anyone, or maybe for the sake of the viewers, all these ones with the blue writing are controlled by the Marquisate. The ones with the pink writing are controlled by the Irie dynasties, and the ones that don't have any colored writing on them, Ironview and Rooston, are just in the control of their local denizens.
Okay. Well, I've still got to find a watcher, I think.
How does that
How it
go?
works. I need to fill both of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the watcher, I was tricked, conned, or deceived by blank once. Why do I choose to continue working with them? When you figure them out, you always hold 1, even on a miss. When you plead with them to go along with you, you can let them clear 2 exhaustion instead of 1. So maybe that would be 0. Maybe 0 tricked me.
Well, he does.
Pretty straightforward, but
You do go around in a mask, though.
I do. You
You got a whole secret identity thing going.
kind of. More of a calling
Secret-ish.
card than a secret identity.
Yeah, dual identity. There you go.
So
And-
maybe you tricked me somehow.
Gable, did you mark Nesta as your protector? Is that what happened?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any connections still blank?
I do.
What you got?
I've got friend. My
who's your-
friend is going to be Nesta,
All right.
who at one point, so write that in real easy. So at one point, Nesta and I met and pulled off a mad, impossible stunt together. In this case, Steve, how wedded are you to your picture of Patchwood as it stands right now?
What would you change of it?
Well, I think at one point, Nesta and I just went through the upper levels of the roost
Mhm.
and just I'm leaning into my theming here. It's
You lit something on fire?
it's what heroes into, and so like the oh god, what do you call the top of a tower?
Parapet?
Parapet
Kind of
is something.
yeah. So like where the parapets are in the roost tower, or the towers in the roost in Patchwood.
Uh-huh.
Like one time, we went through there just to dunk on them and just put those all ablaze.
Okay, yeah, that is not a problem. That is not at all incompatible with the Patchwood I have in my head.
And that might have been somewhat recent.
Okay, and it's also like, I mean, starting a fire in the roost doesn't necessarily like cause a big lasting effect politically. It's just an annoyance.
That was initially maybe I was going to burn down a bunch of buildings.
Yeah.
And then I decided I wanted it to be more of like a dunking on thing because I already burned down a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, you just a rebel this one.
Yes, I am. So when I help them, I can mark 2 exhaustion to give +2 instead of 1 for +1.
All right. Okay, so
those are my 2 connections.
Everyone's connections are all filled out now, correct? All right. So now this is what I was saying before. We have to come up with your daring exploit. You guys are an existing band of vagabonds. You've all known each other for a while, and you have done something already that accomplished change, perhaps, in the world, in the Woodland. Now, this is detailed on page 61, but we can just roll a d6 to get our prompt for it, or if anyone's wedded to one, we can choose one. The prompts are: you added a new path, you destroyed an existing path, you changed ownership of a clearing, defended a clearing from faction action. That's fun to say. Discovered and explored a valuable ruin of the forest, or performed a remarkable heist. Now, I'm for it either way. If you all want to agree on one, or if you don't want to just roll for it. Any opinions?
You just roll for it?
Let's just roll for it, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Who wants to drop it? Jason?
Okay. Wait. Where's that die? Come on. 3. So we have changed ownership of a clearing.
Ooh. Now, who do you think you did that to? Which clearing?
So I'm just going to put this out there. I'm being kind of quiet here because I will absolutely run roughshod over this if you let me. I'd rather you all be more creative than I am.
Well, does anyone want to offer opinions, or should we let Jason off the leash?
Yeah,
Jason unleashed.
I'm good with someone else for the political stuff because I haven't given that much.
Same.
All right. So my thought is, after Nesta and I did this absolute just monumental dunk on the Ares fortress, we all of us banded together and actually shifted the balance of power in Patchwood to the Woodland Alliance.
Are you suggesting that an uprising then took place? And
yeah, something like that.
No longer is it in the control of the Irie at all?
Nope. Or yes.
All right. Then I'm going to change it.
Leadership.
All right. Give me a moment to edit the image.
We did it. We did it, Zero. We drove them out.
Woo!
Is every vagabond in the group will mark 3 prestige with the faction now in control.
That is the Woodland Alliance. You all get 3.
Good
All
lord.
right, I'm going to close out the map for a second while I save a new copy and then bring it up.
So as I'm taking 3, that means mine is full, so I
Yeah,
get a +1.
I believe we're going to get +1, or it would you go +1 with the Woodland Alliance, and then clear the rest of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Does that kick us down for notoriety with the Aries then?
I was getting there,
Okay.
and then
Oh my god, Zero, we kicked their ass! I can't believe
and
it!
then mark 3 notoriety with the faction removed from control.
Okay.
All right.
So
Actually,
that
gonna leave
means
me exactly
going
where I-
backwards.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe the
Okay.
Irie, which I don't have on here yet.
So I just noticed this, Sable. If you highlight, hover over that -1 or +1, you can highlight it so that you don't have to keep your checks in there.
Okay. And you said -2 or negative? What did you say for them?
-3.
-3.
Which, if you have no rep with the Aerie dynasties, I believe that'll put you at a -1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at -1 plus an extra.
So
Yep.
when we add this 3, do we go backwards or forwards?
What? So the Woodland Alliance is going to go +3.
Forward
And-
3.
The Aerie dynasties is going to go -3.
Okay, thank you. So that means I have 1 in the second one, and then that highlighted -1. All right. Got it.
All right. When everyone has completed marking those squares, I'm going to ask questions to flesh out exactly how you did this.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. So, what was the nature of this job you pulled off? I'll start with Zero. How'd you do that?
Well, I think at least to start, the Aerie was just, I mean, they're fucking dicks, man. They're aristocratic barf bags. So, like showing the populace here that, you know, they can be touched. That, yeah, they may live up there, but they're not untouchable. And that helped rally the local, I want to say, branch of the Woodland Alliance, who already had a foothold here.
Yep.
It helped rally them into action and inspired them to just fully act out against the powers that be.
All right. Well, this is very interesting. So, what we have is a situation where Zero, and who was it originally that helped you with that arson? Was it Nesta? In your connection
Yes,
when we established
yes,
that?
it was Nesta.
Okay. So, Nesta, what do you think your role in that movement was? Either in the original heist, or I guess arson that kicked it off, or,
Well,
or thereafter?
It was a mad, impossible stunt.
Yeah. What do you think your role in that was, Nesta?
As part of my drives, I have justice. Advance when you achieve justice for someone wronged. Anyway, but yeah, as a protector and out for justice, I may have saw a soldier of the Aerie oppressing somebody in a brutal way, and so maybe I stepped in to like put a stop to that, and that encouraged others to step up as well.
That's good.
How dare you strike that person? You are not. Yeah, who are you to harm these denizens of the forest?
Yeah. Now, Sable and Gable, you were not directly mentioned in the wild stunt that Zero performed, but you will have been involved either in that or in the turnover that followed. What do you think you were up to, Sable?
More than likely, I was breaking in and opening doors and windows and whatever I could, throwing ropes down over walls or whatever, and helping the Alliance get in.
All right. And what about you, Gable?
I think I probably helped with improvising weapons for the ones that stood up, the denizens that assisted in the overthrow.
Okay.
I think I probably, because I have a tendency to be able to what's it called? Improvise weapons and things. So pitchforks and any other thing that could cause harm, I helped organize arming that side of things.
So this makes you guys pretty potentially influential in the new government that the Woodland Alliance is trying to form here. And we can get into how that government works. The Woodland Alliance is notoriously fragmented in this specific part of their plan. They are definitely against anyone else ruling the Woodland. But what they want to put in its place is a little bit up in the air. So we can move into what Patchwood looks like under their rule. But I would like to ask the group a question, because I did roll out some NPCs in relation to Patchwood before we start, and one of them in particular is now his place is now in question, and that is Lord Zachary Thickfeather, a hawk who was the ruler of Patchwood under the Eerie dynasties. What do you think is his fate? Does he yet live? Is he imprisoned? Did he escape to another clearing?
Well, as one that is a defender and protector, I would not like to see him killed. I would fight for him to live, either jailed or shamed and sent into the wilderness.
Okay.
Maybe we convinced him to see the light. To see that he is not superior, that if we work together, we can have a peaceful, controlled.
Would anyone like to do a move about this? Because Nesta has expressed a personal motivation regarding this, and so has Gable.
Yeah, you've got that persuade an NPC and trick an NPC. Plead with a PC. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this isn't really a time to plead with PCs.
But
Yeah.
you can plead with NPC.
Yeah.
Or trick them. Or do one of your playbook moves. I haven't read it thoroughly, but I know that Nesta has one called Guardian. And
What are we looking at? I'm sorry.
I'm asking if you would like to do a move and therefore a roll to determine if what you want to happen to this guy is what happens.
Well, what exactly, Nesta, did you want to happen to him?
Nesta just wanted him to not die, whether that means
So
prison
maybe
or exile.
maybe I poisoned him. Maybe I, made him unconscious or made him sleep, and we were able to control him and move him to some place where we could convince him otherwise.
You know what, Steve?
Mhm.
Zero would like to get a little read on what the denizens of Patchwood, like how they feel about.
Are you going to read a tense situation?
Yes, that's what I want to do. I'm bad at it.
Okay, great. Roll it. Cunning. This is a cunning roll.
Oh wow, that's terrible.
Okay.
I got a 2.
You got a 2.
Oh my god. So you rolled 2 1s, then what do you have?
Oh no, I rolled a
Terrible.
2 and a 1.
Okay.
But I have a
You have
-1 to cunning.
Oh
So
my gosh.
you're trying to understand what they want to do with Lord Thickfeather, and I think that you do come to understand it when a mob of angry foxes armed with pitchforks charges him in an attempt to slay him. Now, this is all still backstory.
Oh no, so yeah, this mob of local denizens are coming for him, and I'm just like, wait, we need to bring this guy to justice.
Okay.
Sure, normally I'm all about just wanton destruction, and we could just hang him right here. I mean, look, there's ropes everywhere, there's all these like tree branches. He'd be so easy to just hang right here, but I can tell that the people of Patchwood want justice, not just brutal revenge for the terrible things that the Airy dynasties have done to them for themselves.
Now you're persuading.
I think I am, so
Roll charm.
hold on, let me double check and see how bad I am with charm. Awesome. Seven.
Okay. So
What do I need to do to sway them?
yeah, I think on a 7 to 9, you're not sure if you've convinced them.
No, I
They're
know.
not sure. They're not sure.
You need to get. So the GM will tell me what I need to do to sway them.
Yeah, you have swayed them enough to stop them from hanging him right now, but you do indeed. You need to give them a reason why he's more valuable alive.
Well, how about he speaks up for himself? Will he change? What does he have to say for himself?
I don't care what this monarchist dipshit says.
He was about to open his mouth when Sable said that, and then when Zero spoke, he closed his mouth.
Yeah, buddy.
He is, at this moment, he wants nothing more than to survive long enough to get back to his, rightful position.
I bet he does.
Mm-hmm.
Does that count for figuring someone out, or?
If you want to do a move about it, you can roll charm to try and figure him out.
Well, really, I'm doing nose for gold. I have an ulterior motive,
Oh.
which is to figure someone out so that I can find out what the most valuable thing they are carrying is.
Okay, so figure someone out is one of the basic moves, and what it is just roll charm, and if you succeed on that, you get some stuff. But with nose for gold, even if you miss, you can get some information. Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So I will roll on that. Let's see here. I got a 7.
You got a 7. Okay. So that means you can ask one of the questions listed under figure someone out.
Okay.
Do you have that in front of you, or should I read them off?
Unfortunately, I'm still in a table of contents.
Okay. I'm actually looking at a cheat sheet.
Yeah. Cheat sheet as well.
If you pull up the playbook, I'm using the printer friendly version. but the playbook document.
I'm actually going to step away while you guys figure that out.
Yeah. At the end of that, it actually has like little cheat sheets on the move, like all the moves and whatnot.
I did write down also what page they were on.
I can quickly load a PDF to the root server that has that information. It's just a 2-page PDF.
That would be great if you would do that.
Yeah, where is it?
Oh, okay.
Sheet.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, really? It's bigger than I can load because I don't have Nitro.
Bro. I don't have that either.
Yeah,
Well,
so
could you send it like I sent it earlier?
so-
Could you send it through like Drive or
Yeah, I could do that. Let me
because
yeah,
I mean
so
we can
pull
still
up my
get
drive
it.
here.
Almost.
So Cindy Sable is getting one hold. When interacting with that person, you can spend that hold 1 for 1 to ask them one of these questions. Is that character telling the truth? What are they really feeling? What does their character intend to do? What does your character wish I'd do? And how can I get your character to blank?
Yeah.
And then also what Nose for Gold gives you.
And with your roll of a 7, you get to ask one of those questions. So you, I will say, began this interaction. Began this interaction by asking what he would say for himself, and then Zero shut him down for a second. But if you continue waiting for him to speak, he will say,
While Sable is interacting with Lord Thickfeather, I think Zero is going to approach the angry mob.
"Okay,
And so what he wants to offer up to them is that if we try this royal in our own courts, it will send a message to the other airy settlements nearby that the Woodland Alliance isn't going to put up with their monarchist bullshit, that we're going to treat, but that we also will treat them with the rule of law, whatever that law ends up being. And yeah, that's that. So I think that's the argument I'm trying to put out, is that, you know, he's an example to the other airy controlled settlements of what the Woodland Alliance will do to those that it takes over from.
yeah, okay, that works. I think you get them to stop. But now we'll move back over to Sable. We've resolved the persuade an NPC move that you were doing. So Sable, while he is saying that to the denizens, you are speaking to Lord Thickfeather, and he will say, "I do not understand what I have done to make everyone so angry, but if I may return to my place, I will do what I can to alleviate the situation."
I don't think that's going to be enough. I think an entire change of how things are run is what's going to need to take place.
Well, I can certainly run things a little more leniently.
I'm going to look back at the mob.
Yeah, have you decided which question you'd like to ask?
I think it was the one, what is his true intention?
What does your character intend to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so 100% he intends to, not only intends to, but it hasn't even occurred to him that there's any other possible outcome than him taking control again. And when that happens, I think you can read him well enough at this time to figure out this talk of making it right and appeasing the populace is bullshit. He's gonna absolutely devastate people for what they've done today.
Okay.
Because he thinks it's his right. He is 100% convinced that it is his moral right to rule not only Patchwood, but every place.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
And so then what is the most valuable thing he's got on him?
He has a ring, a gold ring with his family crest on it, like a signet ring. Thick feather family crest. Misery says you guys should pluck all his feathers out.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, I figured
That
that's
might show
almost
him a
as
thing or
brutal
two.
as putting him in chains and then just letting him out into the wilderness.
What if we don't do that? What if we just clip his wings?
So he could never fly again?
Well,
Oh
he
my
will
gosh.
grow back like a chicken will, but he can't fly for a while, and maybe that will humble him enough to.
Well, I
That-
think he should stand trial. I'm gonna
That is for the
pluck
court
that
to
ring
decide.
off his finger and put it in my pocket.
All right. I don't think there's any
But-
opposition to you doing that because of the situation. Normally, that would be a roll to try and steal that from him, but he's fully in your power right now. So, yeah. All right. So that
And
is
lock him up.
all right. Yeah.
Pluck him
Zero.
up for trial.
Zero effectively convinced the crowd that, maybe not really convince them, but enough that they'll go along with it. Then they lock him up, and I think as we move more into the present day, it's probably a few weeks later, and he is still imprisoned, awaiting trial. Nobody seems to be in any sort of hurry to give him a trial.
Well, I mean, Zero absolutely woke up the next day and went, wait, the fuck was I thinking? I should have shanked him right there.
You were having an off day there, buddy.
It's not too late for
Well, I was
shaking.
I was standing right there. That wasn't really going to happen. But now that I'm not there,
This is rubbing off on you, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. So, in the aftermath of this, the Woodland Alliance is trying to set up a new sort of government system. There are a couple of prominent citizens in town. There is actually a judge, a fox, a local fox named Pinton Quay, who is of the Erie faction, or was of the Erie faction. He was a judge appointed by them, but he is not particularly married to them. He would like to keep doing his job under the new government. So he is there, sort of awaiting what laws he is to judge. And
What was his name again?
his name is Pinton Quay, and he's a fox judge. I think everyone sort of suspects that this guy is maybe partial to the birdies, but he is, like I said, he is not in open opposition to the mob right now. And then there is also a respected denizen named Nan Sharp with an E, who is an old, like one of these old but like wiry, tough, like someone who's got a lot of wrinkles but you wouldn't fuck with them. She's a farmer, and she is not concerned with anything other than just keeping Patchwood a safe place to live, or making it into a safe place to live.
And what is her? What is she?
She's a farmer. Oh, what animal is she?
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't write it down. We'll just say she's a fox. Most of the people in Patchwood are foxes.
Okay, she's a fox, and so is the lawyer.
Yeah. The judge is also a fox.
Or the judge, I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
judge is also a fox.
And then the last potential mayor of Patchwood here is Eward Harper. He is a Blue Jay, and he was the leader of the cell of the Woodland Alliance that was in this place before the uprising. So he was a major figure in the uprising because of that. He is particularly well liked by Woodland Alliance folks because of the fact that he is a bird, but he is not with the dynasties. He is with the people.
He's a Blue Jay?
Yep. So these three people are like probably the top 3 popular choices for the person to be in charge, but none of them have really solidified it right now. Nan has really sort of a lot of pull with the regular sort of grassroots denizens. Eward has a lot of pull with the Woodland Alliance, and Penton Quay just has credentials as a respected judge.
Penton Quay.
Yeah.
Penton sat in judgment over us with the Erie. I would not want him to be the mayor of this town.
I agree. He's sat in judgment of me a couple of times. Wasn't very kind.
I will say that as you guys are having this conversation, you are perhaps over a table of drinks at the local inn. This inn is built into the trunk of a tree. The whole place smells like the sort of resin finish that they have used to keep the tree's sap from leaking into the inn. And drinks are served cheaply and frequently here. It's kind of the one place in town. Patchwood's had a lot of unrest going back. Before it was under the control of the Irie dynasties, it was previously a Marquisate town, and now it's Woodland Alliance. So there's a lot of different opinions and beliefs in the town, but this inn is where people can come, and it's kind of a neutral ground.
Does it have a name?
Bobby's Inn.
Okay.
And as for that Blue Jay, yet another bird? Why would we let another bird sit and roost over us all?
Well, I don't know. I mean, are they all alike?
Well, why does anyone have to sit in charge of anybody? Why can't it be
Exactly.
collective? Why can't we set up a council so one person doesn't have all the frickin' control? Why do we put the control in one person's hands? We know that that's not going to turn out.
Exactly, Gable. Like, we should. I mean, perhaps all 3 of these people we should tap to form a new government, a collective government.
That way, not one person has control, and it has to be settled with a vote.
And with 3 of them, that is perfect.
Yes, and maybe if they cannot settle something, they can bring it to the people.
The people are really the one that have been oppressed, so why not include the people in the decision?
Maybe some of them should be on the council even.
Yes.
That's what we've got. Nan. That's what we have, like Nan Sharp for, and
It's true, I guess.
Eward Harper, right? Eward?
Yeah, it's like Edward with no D. Or no first D.
Oh, okay.
U''ARD, Eward.
Oh, I spelled it EUWARD.
Yeah, it's just EWARD.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. I don't know. I picked it out of the book.
It's fine. It's good.
It works.
Yeah.
EWARD. Award.
Because we have.
That's my opinion. Because in my opinion, we should just get the fuck out of here. Set it up so that someone else can take over. We did our part.
We did a lot. I'm a bit whooped.
And we leave the people in control of the people.
Okay.
And what's his name's wings? Put him in prison. Banish him. Something. His wings will grow back. Maybe he'll be humbled enough to become a decent person.
Yeah.
Well, not sure any of them could be humbled enough to be a decent person.
No,
Well, or
his
we could
punishment-
kill him.
Yeah, I didn't see that in his eyes at all. He was lying to my face.
Or
I should know.
we could dispatch him. But that is their first vote. What do we do with this man?
Let the council decide. It is not our place to decide his fate.
Yeah. I don't
Exactly.
want-
Let's get the hell out of here and do something else.
We've already determined his fate to this point, and he is locked up.
Yeah.
His life is out of our hands.
So get the hell out of here and do something else seems to be the prevailing opinion, right?
Yeah.
Yes, before they ask us to do more.
Yeah,
we
I
don't
mean,
want to be on no council. We don't want to have to decide what's happening with this
Yeah.
clearing. We did our part.
you guys are by definition vagabonds. You are outsiders. They appreciate your help and what you inspired, except for those who don't. And but you are in no way expected or asked to stick around and help run the place.
Perfect.
So the question then is, go where? There are, if you want to sort of ask around for potential work, that's something you can do in town, or if you'd like to journey to one of the other clearings, we can do that too.
Work would be nice. I'm broke.
Yes, some
I have
coin would be
I
nice.
gotta work or do something else.
How about treasure? Treasure sounds like a great idea. Then we're technically working for ourselves.
Well, no sooner have you said that than Eward Harper enters the inn, looks around for a moment, sees you guys, and appears to find what he's looking for and approaches your table. He's going to come up to you and sort of sit down. He has to, I'm assuming they probably have chairs of several designs to accommodate all the different animals. He's going to grab a bird one and sit down and say, our heroic vagabonds, I would like to thank you once again for finally helping to inspire the people around here to rise up and break off their chains.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, he's going to order a round for the table, actually.
I'm glad we could help.
Yeah, but we would hate to see someone else put chains on them again in the name of their own desires.
Well, it is my belief that the locals in the clearing should be the ones who decide how their government functions. Who, if anyone, rules them. It should be up to the people. That being said, it is also my belief that someone has to be in charge in order for things to function at all. And I don't like who's in charge nearby. We have struck quite a blow against the Erie dynasties here in Patchwood. I'd like to do the same to the Marquisate.
Oh?
There is a group up in Open Sky Haven known as the Trailblazers Union. Good blue-collar working folk. that we've been in some small communication with about perhaps getting their aid in the goals of the Alliance. Something that is their function as trailblazers is the use of flammables and explosives. I believe we can convince them to lose some of their explosives so that perhaps someone like us could find them.
And how would you convince them of this?
Well, we'd have to send some people who are respected enough to have the conversation. Some people who maybe led a recent victory against one of these factions trying to control the Woodland.
You mean us?
Of course I mean you. I would like to offer you some coin for this task. If you can get there and get the explosives from the Trailblazers Union and get them back here to Patchwood so that they can be used in our next move against the Marquisate. Plan B, of course, if you can't get the explosives back to Patchwood, would be to find a place to stash them near Open Sky. So that our operatives can then find them and use them when the time comes.
Well, this doesn't seem terribly challenging. I mean, considering our skill set, as I look at Zero.
Well, I think that,
But what kind of money are we talking about?
yes, we need to speak of this.
I don't know if I want to get into any more political bouts for a while. I think I've had enough of that.
Oh,
People who talk
everything is political.
very much so. People who speak of avoiding politics in the middle of a forest at war. I have no idea how you would hope to manage that other than leaving the Woodland altogether and finding some place where no one else lives.
And?
Well, if that is your intention, then go with my blessing.
But I am looking for some coin, and I am looking for some adventure. I don't think this sounds terribly difficult with my companions and myself. But again, what are we looking for? What are we looking at as a reward?
He will offer you coin that will be the equivalent of 5 value for each of you. They are not rolling in the money, but they did just overthrow a monarch, so there's some money.
Seems reasonable for such a small task.
And 5 value is definitely would be appreciated.
Well, it's more than I have now.
Correct?
How do
So
you
what say
see...
ye?
While we are gone, I have one question.
Yes. And sentence him accordingly.
Maybe you, Quay, and the farmer, Ms. Sharp, can sit in judgment as a panel of 3.
A tribunal, perhaps. I actually
Yes.
proposed something similar myself. Quay does not see the need for 3 judges in a trial. But negotiations are ongoing.
You need someone to intimidate him a little bit? Not that I would harm him in any way.
Perhaps, but For now,
would
I
make
think I have it under control.
Yes. Now that I think it, that would make me know better than what the Eerie were doing before we rooted them out of the area.
That is certainly not true. You would be convincing someone to share power rather than hoarding it for yourself. That is different. But nonetheless, let's not go that route yet.
Can you supply us with food for our journey?
You tax our resources somewhat with the coin already. As you know, most of what the Woodland Alliance has is coming out of the people's own pockets. What coin we have largely to pay your fees with is taken from Lord Thickfeather's roost. So, food, I'll see what we can do.
Perhaps cover this meal at least.
Absolutely.
How soon should we leave?
They expect someone there within a week.
It looks to be a 3-day journey.
Group we're supposed to meet up with?
The group is the Trailblazers Union, and I'm going to come up with the name of the person that runs it when we're on break.
The Union was what I was trying to remember.
Alrighty.
Trailblazers.
Yeah, Trailblazers. Yeah, so is that you guys accepting the job then?
I'm into it.
Yeah, let's
do it. Might as well.
Cool. Where did I put that list of names?
And it is a how many day journey to get to Open Sky?
Oh gosh. I don't know how to.
We'd be using the travel moves. Either traveling through the forest or traveling along a path.
All right. And then the name he gives you for the leader of the union there is Lena Longtooth.
Lena?
Lena Longtooth is a rabbit. Yes, sorry to interrupt, Jason. What you were saying about the travel moves.
Oh, give me a sec.
Yeah, you've got travel through the forest or travel along the path.
Yeah, so basically we can either from where we are, like it's mostly from here we'd probably just travel along a path. It's probably the easiest.
It's one path away.
If we wanted to get into a little extra fancy trouble, we could travel through the forest. But if we want to focus on the job at hand, we should probably take a path, and we can travel at a relaxing pace, which will only have and collectively decides how it travels in one-member roles. So relaxing pace. We'd have to mark 2 depletion overall, and we'd get a -1 to the roll. Average pace, we'd have to collectively mark 1 depletion with +0 to the roll, and a safely, quickly, and under the radar, we'd mark 1 depletion and +1 to the roll, and urgent, fast, everyone marks exhaustion +2 to roll. So on a hit, we'd get there in a timely fashion. 10+, the trip is uninterrupted and quick. 7 to 9, you encounter something noteworthy on the path. Caravan, battleground, or something else odd passing through. On a miss, we get caught in the middle of a dangerous situation before we arrive at the next clearing.
And
doesn't seem to be a whole lot of urgency, so an average pace?
Yeah, and we did look at this following the question, how long does it take to travel there? The move does not answer that question. So I'll just say it's like, where?
It does answer it, though. On a 10 plus, the trip is uninterrupted and quick. On a 7 to 9, there's something there that, we take a little bit of time, but it's not, we probably still make it in time. On a miss.
Yeah. But what I mean is it doesn't answer it in specific terms. It doesn't say 3 days. So I'm just going to say at an average pace, it would probably be a 3-day journey. But yeah, you guys may decide what pace you want to travel at.
But at the same time, like at an
Threats can
average
happen.
pace, we're going to mark the same amount of resource depletion anyway.
Right. Not mechanically significant, just for the narrative, 3 days. But it is significant in that you were told they expect someone within a week.
Yeah.
It says 1 depletion collectively, so just 1 depletion for one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Okay, so an average place. Okay, collectively marks.
Yeah, I read all of them the same way I read the first one, the relaxing pace. The band collectively marks a total of 2 depletion. So I think that means out of all of your resources, only 2 boxes get checked. That's how I interpret it.
But the next 2 don't say the mark a total of.
Right, but
it's just collectively mark 1. So I would have read that as marking 1 depletion each.
Yeah, my instinct is the opposite, to assume that they're just not unnecessarily repeating themselves from the first one.
Which means what? Do we mark off 1 each, or
Well, decide the pace you want to move at.
Average.
Yeah,
I mentioned that. That was my throw out.
Or maybe
average is fine to me.
Maybe I'm being swayed by Jason's argument now, because it being a relaxing pace means you mark way less depletion. That does make sense.
Honestly, so the thing about moving safely and quickly under the radar is that we don't clear exhaustion.
Right. But you guys don't have any exhaustion.
Exactly. So we don't really need to clear any exhaustion.
Right.
Which is why I'd be inclined to say, let's get there safely, quickly, and under the radar.
And get that +1. We could do it that way.
Who wants to roll it? Sounds good.
All right. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
So, Steve, is everyone marking 1 depletion, or are we marking 1 depletion overall?
I think I have come around to your way of seeing it. I think you're marking 1 depletion each.
Okay. Collectively, that makes... Could go either way with that one word. Collectively, 1 depletion.
Yeah.
No, so I think it's just that collectively marks a total of 2 versus collectively marks 1.
Right.
Got it.
And the total, I think, is the big difference there.
Yeah.
All right. Do you mind if I go ahead and roll that then?
Go for it.
Do it.
Go for it.
What are we looking for here? A 7 or a 9, and +1 to my. What was my plus on that?
Yeah.
+1. Okay.
It's +1.
Okay.
The modifier is only coming from
No stat modifier.
Yeah.
That is a 5 and a 4 on the dice, so +1, 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Outstanding. On a 10, your trip is uninterrupted and quick.
Excellent.
We've got all the other denizens hiding and everyone laying low for a bit.
GM, what can you since we're slipping into Open Sky Haven, what can you tell us about Open Sky Haven?
I can tell you that its name is descriptive of its environment. It is obviously all of these places are clearings, but Patchwood, for example, had an inn inside of a tree. Open Sky Haven does not have trees in the clearing. This is a rabbit heavy community, and these people like to live in houses that they have built. The overall landscape here is that of a grassy field. The community is under the control of the Marquisate, which is why you're here. And trailblazing is actually the primary sort of industry, if that word applies. The people who live here are the ones who go out and blaze trails elsewhere in the woodland.
Oh, okay.
Well, so something I was gonna ask was what sort of industrialization has the Marquisate brought to this clearing?
For one thing, the explosives.
What do they use those for here?
They don't use them here. They keep them here, but when they go out trailblazing, they use them to take out trees.
Okay.
So that's one thing. The Marquisate, now they did know of explosives prior to the Marquisate's arrival, but the Marquisate they use the tactic of industrialization is good for the community, and so they came in here sort of to support the already existing Trailblazers Union here with additional access to things like explosives and modern tools and so forth. Those who are not actively working in trailblazing have taken up jobs at a local factory producing everything from axes to well, not horseshoes, but all sorts of things. Axes primarily in this community.
So
yeah,
put on wagon like wagon implements,
wagon wheels. Yeah, sure.
Local. Do they make the explosives here, or are they shipped in?
They are shipped in.
Oh, okay.
But it's not a regular shipment sort of situation. Because how often do you really need to blow up a tree? And yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but but yeah.
So basically, they have the supplies they need for now.
Yeah, they have the supplies they need for now. There's not going to be a forthcoming opportunity to grab some in transit. So you do need the Union to give you some, essentially. And that's, in case it wasn't clear from the way that we role-played, that they need to be negotiated with. They are not 100% on board yet. That's what you were sent to do. Your decisions are your own.
So I mean, what I'm assuming is, as I'm asking these questions, we're sort of creeping around town trying to look relatively inconspicuous.
Yep.
Just kind of trying to take in the local, we're trying to case the joint.
Basically.
And so just so I'm a little clear on what I got so far, this is an open air clearing. People here live in individual houses, echoing the horrors of suburbia.
Yep.
There is a local factory for making axes and other such and other metal implements.
Yes, tools and such, yeah.
For metal tools. And they also have where do they store, like, can we figure out where they store these explosives? Like, is there like a warehouse?
So because the explosives are so dangerous, it is not common knowledge where they are stored. If you have some sort of move you'd like to do to try and learn where they are stored, we can go into that now. or you can seek out Lena and simply speak to her, which is what you were told to do.
No, I'm sorry. That it was taking me a second because I was writing down.
Yeah, I know. That's no problem.
My question of where do they like? I'm trying to keep notes. Yeah. Any other ideas on like things to ask about this place? I'm asking Sable, Gable, and
Yeah,
I'm
think-
thinking,
Nesta.
I mean, I assume they have the other things like, tavern and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, they have the common stuff that you need to have in a town. Yeah.
Is there any tension in the area? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there's look busy or
Tension. There's a certain low level of tension that exists everywhere in the Woodland right now.
Yeah.
Open Sky Haven, perhaps more than most, because of the 4 neighboring clearings, 3 are not under Marquisate control, while Open Sky is. And Patchwood, of course, just had a revolt. So there's, yeah, there's some, yeah, there's some sort of, there's some level of sort of nervousness and fear in the population. As far as unrest, there's no presence of the Woodland Alliance here. You are coming here to try and change that, basically. So it's not impossible that the Woodland Alliance could get a foothold in Open Sky, but right now they don't have one.
so maybe our first task should maybe observe Lana Longtooth, see what kind of person she is, where she hangs out. Maybe we can figure out how to sway her into giving it to us. Or I had a question about poisons. Potions, I mean, I guess potions and antidotes. Am I stuck to the 4 mentioned, or can I say, oh, I'd like one that to make her tell the truth? Am I stuck with the sleep, weakness, inebriation, and death? Or can I come up with...
Yeah, you're stuck with those 4.
Oh, I am. Okay.
Although if you want someone to tell the truth, I would suggest you could try inebriation and see if that makes them more prone to telling the truth, or at least lying worse.
Or lying words, exactly.
I was going to say, who's got...
Sorry, maybe we
Anyone?
should go
What's the
ahead and
best charm score we have? You have a +1 in charm.
I have
0.
a +1 in charm.
Okay.
I'm
I do
very
not.
charming. I'm just a cute, fuzzy little guy.
Yeah. Sable and Gable, what are your charm scores?
I have 0.
My -1.
Okay, well,
That's why I wanted to poison her.
well, I say let's decide what we're going to do, and then we'll take our break and come back and do it.
Okay.
I say we approach her and try to arrange a meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, like let's
Yeah,
approach
do that.
her like we were like that's what we got hired to do. We approach her, we set up a meet, and yeah. I mean, maybe in the time like between when we approach her and we go to the meet, we could see about figuring something else out once if that meet gives us any ideas for other things we should look into.
And may we approach her as one of us approach. We don't want to intimidate them. We want to so that too.
Yeah, maybe the
approach
one
them.
with the most charm should be the one.
I am just a fuzzy little guy.
And
are
you
just a fuzzy
really
little guy.
have knowledge about explosives, correct?
That's true.
I will, however, say, you're just in the meta of it. One of you is called an arbiter. It's not
True.
Zero the Hack.
No, I'm a scoundrel.
You're a scoundrel.
That's why I keep referring to myself as just a fuzzy little guy.
I know you're just a fuzzy little guy. But yeah, so there is that. You guys, I would say, we'd probably do rolls about it when we get back, but you'd have to try and determine which of the two of you would be more well respected here, given the notoriety that you gained in Patchwood. So there's that. For now, we're going to take our break. We're going to be gone for 10 minutes. Before we go, there's a song we have to sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mia.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh my goodness. All right.
And
So yeah,
many
55.
On
So
channel
thank you.
4,
I
Scooby-Doo on channel 2.
All right,
with any
everyone.
luck, I'll live another 30 years.
Yep, you've been 55 for 1 minute.
Yes.
You're level 55.
Level 55.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in 10. Thanks, everyone.
Happy birthday, Mia.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Welcome back to Open Sky Haven, where we have come to sing songs of joy. Is what it sounds like when a multi-state video call tries to sing in sync.
Hey, I thought we did pretty good.
We
You
did
did
all right.
pretty good. You did all right. You did pretty good.
Yeah, hit single.
It's single.
Considering I don't do that. I don't sing like that for money.
We're like,
For friendship.
they're not just. It's sorry. It's 3 time zones, not just 3 different states. It's 3 time zones.
Yeah.
True.
Even.
True.
Yeah. I was going to say I have been known to refrain from singing for money.
Oh no! Like when I was working at restaurants, like I didn't like people would be like, "Oh, it's your birthday. You're gonna get sung to," and I'm just like, "No, I just no.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with this."
No, I don't like that either.
But here it was like whatever. Like yeah, it's a good
Oh my
time.
gosh.
You know, we're
Okay.
probably a little uncomfortable. That, like,
Lena.
Lena Longtooth. So I am, as we speak, just sort of setting up a new clearing sheet for Open Sky. But yeah, Lena Longtooth is here. She has taken your meeting. Who has she taken a meeting with, I would ask?
Nesta, did you want to go engage with her?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the Arbiter, yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, I figured Nesta is pretty intimidating on her own.
Yeah, Nesta's intimidating, but also has that like Captain America vibe.
Yeah.
Not quite as personable as Captain America.
Yeah.
No, but still, I'm less intimidating, and I'm cute. But you know, people kind of get that weird vibe that you know they're going to turn around and I'm going to light their hair on fire or something.
Yeah, I think that's the vibe I mean, yeah.
So yeah, I'll go badger her a little bit. Try and
Ah,
uh,
I get it.
I couldn't help myself.
Well, she's a rabbit, so she comes out. Probably at the local tavern is where you would want to meet her. It's called Robbie's Tavern. It's Bobby's
Hey.
brother. They live in neighboring communities.
So, Miss Longtooth, it's nice to meet you.
Miss Duskclaw, it's nice to meet you. I understand you were instrumental in the overthrow of the Eyrie in Patchwood.
Kind of nervously look around, like, yeah, you could say that. I was only one of a part of that. Yes.
Well, I understand you're nervous about being famed for such a thing. But here in Open Sky, enemies of the Eyrie are not specifically targeted.
Yeah, the Eyrie, just glad to see them go.
I can't say I'm partial to them.
But now the denizens of Patchwood are looking to maybe expand their influence.
So I understand. Is it Patchwood or is it the Woodland Alliance?
Yeah, the Woodland Alliance has taken root in Patchwood. They're slowly sorting out the administrative side of things.
That is what I had come to understand. I know what they sent you here to get.
Yes, Mr. Harper.
I'm not sure that it's safe.
I assume what we've come for is hidden somewhere. Safely.
It is hidden. That you'd be correct about that. What I mean is, I'm not sure that it's safe for us to get involved in that way. It's not as though no one could possibly find out where it came from.
And your connection to what we've come for, is it so close that you would be implicated quickly?
There are not many places in the woodland where such items are shipped. And if it were to be used nearby, well, it wouldn't be hard to put two and two together.
Well, if there's some way we can stage a robbery so that we can alleviate any suspicions of anyone involved.
A robbery, you say?
Or something of the sort. To, yes, to alleviate any suspicion, to point the eyes elsewhere than on you.
Well, that's not the worst idea. I don't know how convincing I could be if I was asked to lie. But I could probably sell that. Nesta, why don't you make a move about this? We're gonna want... I don't think you would have any playbook moves relevant, but persuade an NPC would probably be what you're going for. Unless you would like more information first, in which case you can read or figure someone out.
I think I would like to figure her out, or maybe read the situation. It is kind of tense, I assume, one or the other.
Yeah, it's up to you which of those two moves you'd like to bring into play.
I think read a tense situation would be my inclination there.
Okay. So playing off the conversation you've already had, go ahead and roll that with cunning.
All right. Cunning. That is definitely not a strong suit, but let's see what we get here.
So
that's not good. Sorry, go ahead.
Interject a little bit. I think, either way, I think Nesta would be really trying to work within the framework of the figuring someone out move. Just because the tense situation is going to be more about a broader situation. Just looking at the questions, about what my best way is out or in, out or through, who's the biggest threat, who or what is most vulnerable to me. doesn't seem.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was operating under the assumption that Nesta had read those questions and had chosen one, and that's why she picked the move.
Okay.
So let's ask Mia what's going on. Do we want to adjust the move to the other one, or what?
Yeah, with read the tense situation, I was looking more at what should I be looking out for?
Okay.
As far as like who might be a threat in the area versus
okay.
And I agree. Not all of those questions are applicable here, but some could be. That's why I was going to allow it. Okay, so what did you roll?
I didn't. I was going to say it's all moot anyway because I only rolled a 4.
Okay, so you're sitting back as you speak with her, trying to sort of discern what exactly is the damn holdup here. You know, you just overthrew Patchwood, and she's got literal bombs. So, like, why can't she just get on board? But you're just not super able to figure it out. And while you're trying to, sorry, I got lost in my own notes here. While you're trying to, the door of the tavern busts open, and another badger walks in. This one, a big, scarred, burly guy with one eye.
Oh. I assume my compatriots are somewhere in the tavern as well, just kind of like over watching things.
Yeah.
We haven't really established that.
Yeah, I was about to ask where you guys think you would be.
I think we would probably be there, just kind of off, kind of be
Across the room, like
But
where
that
we
way-
still can see what's going on, but we're not.
behind the back if need be.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think we're just kind of in a corner somewhere watching.
Big badger.
Yeah, this big badger comes in, and as soon as she sees him, Lena, rolls her eyes and sits back. That guy.
Oh, that guy. Another badger. I don't see many of them around.
Yeah, well, you don't see him here in town unless he gets thirsty enough. That's Flank Rollwood.
Flank Rollwood?
Nobody's been after him yet because people who... Well, the witnesses don't make it out, but that is the leader of the bandit crew that operates on the path between Patchwood and Open Sky.
No. So he's brazenly open about who he is and what he does, and faces no consequences.
He is just secretive enough that nobody can do anything.
Oop, everyone froze for a moment on my end.
Oh,
All I heard was he's just secretive enough. And
he's
then it
just
cut off.
secretive enough that no one can do anything.
Hmm.
My job is made much harder by the likes of him and his people. The Trailblazers Union, you know, a lot of people associate us with just knocking down trees and cutting paths from clearing to clearing, but most of the clearings are already connected to each other. There's not too many more paths to make anew. What we do most of the time is keep the existing ones clear. And he is a big pain in my ass.
I say maybe we have a something I can do for you to further our agreement. To maybe we can do something about him to get what we need from you.
All right.
I should consult with my compatriots, though. Compadres.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and roll a persuade on this? That is with charm.
Charm. Right, I have a +1 on charm. That is a 7 total.
Okay, with that roll, she is going to look at you, clearly take in what you have said, but not immediately respond. And then you are sort of slapped on the back from behind as Flank has walked over and says, "Ah, Lena, I see you've met another one of my kin. Hello, I'm Flank. Nice to meet you."
I'm going to stand up from where I'm sitting and introduce myself. I'm Nesta. Nesta Duskclaw.
You look like you can handle yourself.
Yeah, I do wear leather armor, so there's that. Well, I do okay in a pinch, as they say.
Well, us Badgers, pretty good at it. If you don't mind, I'd like to have a chat with my old friend here.
Well, I was just finishing up my business with her. We're new to town, and I was asking her about where we might stay.
Ah. Well, if you're looking for work of the martial variety, perhaps we can talk later.
Okay. Well, enjoy your conversation. I'm going to retreat to the bar and get myself a drink.
All right. What are the rest of you up to witnessing this little interaction from elsewhere in the room?
Are we able to hear any of the conversation, or just the body language that's been...
I think Flank Rollwood is pretty loud. I don't think you hear Nesta or Lena.
Yeah, so, like, the moment he seemed to, like, be moving towards Nesta and Lena,
yeah,
Zero is going to peel off from our table and head up to wherever the central bar type area is.
Okay.
To get some to refill his drink and to get a little closer to the action if the action starts up.
Copy that.
And Sable is going to do something similar, but just position herself in a kind of a different area to flank on a different side, since I owe Nesta and we are friends.
Same. I will separate from the group, but I will be in another advantage point, so that if something happens, we can flank this guy. Or
okay. All of that said, I think Nesta was exiting that scene right now. Yeah.
Yeah. On the way out, though, I want to kind of like assert myself on this guy, so I'm going to give him kind of a rough shoulder as I go past.
All right. Just like my son does to me on a daily basis.
I'm going to crash and smash. No. Use a move on him now. I'm just trying to assert some dominance.
Yeah. He brushes it off. He knows that he roughed you up a little bit right off the bat, so he's not gonna take it personally.
We Badgers are tough.
Yeah. You're a hands-on group.
All right. So I see where Zero is at the bar, and I'm gonna move to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so what's the word?
She's reluctant to hand over anything.
Yeah, did you run the plan about how she wouldn't even have to hand anything over? We just She just lets us know how to go in and get it. And we make the whole thing look like, we stole the stuff. Nothing's going to come back to her.
I did mention that to her, and she seemed open to the idea, yet still reluctant. And this guy, kind of do a little nod over my neck. Or that guy who just came in, the other badger. Apparently he's a bandit that preys on people on the paths between towns. Or clearings, excuse me.
And I just want to clarify that was specifically between Patchwood and Open Sky Haven.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys rolled well on your travel. Had you not, you would have met him already.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had gotten that, I had heard that correct. I wanted to make sure that Nesta had relayed that correctly to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Her conversation.
Thank you.
You got it.
I'm a little fuzzy brained at 12:30, but yes.
No, it's all good.
That guy. Good. But she says that he is definitely a thorn in her side as their use of said explosives are to help continue to keep the paths clear, and with him out there causing trouble, it's a real pain in her neck.
So I might move closer to refill my drink. And
Well, you know what? Instead of you moving closer to refill your drink, I think Zero's going to try and get Nesta to come back to the group table to discuss this amongst ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I will bring back drinks for everyone.
all right, so you kind of wake us over.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, she seemed like a trade may be necessary. And again, I look at the Badger guy, implying that, she might want us to take him out before she gives us the goods.
Well, hell, we
Or
can
even
do
allows
that.
us near it.
Well, I don't think that would be too hard.
No, I think that would be right up our alley.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Plus, he's
How
sure
many?
that has some treasure, right?
And how many folks are in his group of bandits? I can't imagine there's more than 4 total.
Zero looks over at you where are you coming up with that estimate specifically?
We're a small band of rogues.
Yeah, but I feel like I shouldn't need to stress this much, but we are really cool. That guy may be kind of cool, but I bet his people are fucking just chumps. And so he's probably got a bunch of chumps with him to bolster his ranks.
But they might not all be with him here
No,
to jump him before he gets to wherever they make camp.
Well, he was interested in you, was he not, Nesta?
It might be. It might be.
Did he have the hots for you?
Or perhaps he was trying to recruit her.
I don't know what badgers do.
why not both?
And if he was trying to recruit you, maybe you could infiltrate and give us a little bit of the rundown of how many people he has, what kind of danger, what kind of strategy we would need to take down his forces.
This is true. We may do that. But again, Layla didn't specifically, or Lena didn't specifically say that was the plan. It was just an option that was put on the table.
Maybe once this guy leaves, we could put it to her a little bit more bluntly what we would be willing to do for her.
Yes, we can approach her as a group this time.
Well, are Lena and Flank still talking?
They are.
What's the vibe on that?
Blank seems to be enjoying the fact that Lena is in equal parts uncomfortable and pissed off.
So this might be
Gable.
our opportunity.
Maybe we, the three of us, could intervene there. Extricate her from this unpleasant situation, unpleasant interaction. But Nesta, if you bug her off, you could still get in with this guy.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna disappear then.
Like, just wait outside, and when he leaves, hit him up for work.
All right.
'Cause I guess we're looking to hire ourselves out as someone's personal assassins now.
All right. I'll go hide in the alleyway and kind of keep an eye out for him to exit the front door.
Watch out for thieves in the alleyway.
Now, are we pro personal assassin jobs or anti personal assassin jobs?
Yeah, not about assassinating. That's
I was more directing that at Zero because I couldn't get a read on the way he said it.
the less I know, the better.
I mean, I think Zero is literally just stating it as a comment on whoever was like, "Oh, well, we'll just take him out for him." I was actually going to I also wanted to reply to that. Like, what are we hiring ourselves out as like personal killers now? Not like I'm necessarily opposed to that sort of action, but just like to know where I'm standing here.
Yeah, it would be a change in career paths, sure.
Well, a means to an end. We get what we want. She gets what she wants.
So, Gable, how do you think we should intervene here?
Well, why don't we go introduce ourselves?
Yeah, but what do we want to, like, how do we want to diffuse this situation? Like, we'll introduce ourselves, but how do we want to separate these two? Because she doesn't seem like she's liking this, and she'll meet us soon enough.
Can you sneak over there and set his pants on fire?
Can you do that discreetly?
I mean,
can we make him uncomfortable enough that he might need to change his pants?
I like where your minds are going with this. Because I was thinking we could just start a nice big tavern brawl, and that would get them to separate because there's a tavern brawl going on.
You want me to fight in a tavern brawl?
Well, no, we just want to start it. We want to start a tavern brawl, and then we get
and then we get
out of it.
Oh,
I see.
Okay.
So basically,
Right.
what you're saying is start a diversion.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm
how do we
actually
want to
pretty good
start this
at that.
brawl?
You have a move called It's a Distraction.
Yeah, no, I literally have a. I'm like, wait a minute, don't I have a move that does something with that?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
It has to be in a dangerous situation, though.
Yeah,
They have to
get
be
a-
distracted by something dangerous.
Yeah, we would have to actually get, like... Oh, jeez.
So if you started a bar fight first, and then he was distracted by that, then you could set his pants on fire.
I mean, I could just shiv the motherfucker.
Sable and I could get into an argument. It's not like we haven't thrown fists before.
Well, hey, We haven't done that in a while. Why not? Might be a little fun.
We could end up, over in his area.
But, well, I mean, if we're going to start a brawl, we're going to start a tavern brawl.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you
too
sort of
involved.
That's it, me. I'll
The
duck.
tavern.
It'll
not
hit
just us.
somebody. You know how these things go.
I can go to punch Sable. She ducks. I hit someone else that looks a little on edge. Maybe someone who looks like they've been having a bad day. Pretend like it wasn't me. It might work out great.
Yeah.
You've got that dirty fighting. I've got nothing to help with this except hide in shadows afterwards.
I'm looking at your sheets, trying to see if there are applicable moves.
I will be able to get away, I think, but
Meanwhile, I'm out using my dagger to like clean my fingernails in the alley.
So my only issue with this is, do we really want to try and off this guy here?
I don't know if we want to off him or if we want to get him just a little agitated so he will leave and run into Nesta.
yes, I thought we were just.
Because my whole it's a distraction
now.
thing would absolutely be about backstabbing this guy in a very literal bit of steel to the kidney way.
You know, that could solve our problem very, very quickly. But we need to know if...
But I'm also kind of
Right.
asking more as a player than as a character on this.
But that's kind of broad daylight.
yeah.
You guys are
Unsolicited
very
murder.
in public. This is a busy
I know.
tavern.
That's a good idea.
we also need to know if the rabbit would be interested in us disposing of this guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, we don't need to just kill this guy because, you know, I want to get some kicks, and boy howdy, you got to be getting some kicks.
So what do you say? Do you want Gable and I to start a brawl, and you can
Well-
use your distraction thing?
Well, asking because, like, I just wanted to, like, put something out there to get the get prime the pump for getting the creative juices flowing on other ideas to perhaps separate these two without quite such a commotion. Saying as a player to player as opposed to character to character.
Zero, where do you keep your mask when you're not wearing it?
You mean the mask that's, like, literally just sitting on the side of my head?
That's the one.
Yeah.
So, a small, well, not super small, but a little boy, a rabbit boy, you see off to your side, just sort of staring at you.
Like, how far away are they?
Oh, like feet.
Yeah?
He's going to lean in and do kind of, it's a loud tavern, but he's going to kind of stage whisper, "Are you the hag?"
Yeah, I just get, like, a big old fucking grin. Like, just... I don't know what you're talking about, son.
I heard you burn down the Patchwood roost.
I did hear that happened. It was pretty epic.
Are you here to burn down the marquisate?
I'm just a fuzzy little guy. But, you know, we'll see what comes.
Yeah, I'm just a fuzzy little guy too. He pulls out a knife and spins it around his finger and runs out the door.
She got back to its name. I will literally make a note to keep eye out for enthusiastically stabby child,
AKA delinquent fanboy.
So what's going on at the table right now? As we've been talking about this, are they still engaged in conversation?
No, at this point, Lena is standing up, obviously intending to just leave in disgust. She wanted to stay here. She was hoping he would finish and leave, but he's not. So when she stands up, he stands up, and he's talking loudly. You can hear him. He's sort of very transparently mocking her, but trying to ask about the business, trying to ask why she doesn't, change careers, why she has so much trouble keeping the roads clear, etc., etc. Just basically being a dick, rubbing it in her face.
And I haven't met this woman.
Does it look like
We
he's
haven't met
let her leave?
any of them. Gable, you're kind of tough, right?
Yeah?
I think that guy just insulted your mother.
That guy over there?
And I loudly say, Gable, I think that guy just insulted your mother, and point at flank.
Oh, and then I immediately go up to him and say, "Excuse me, what did you say about my mother?"
He looks confused for a second, and then he says, I said she was an ugly, one-eyed rat cat.
What's on the table right now? Is there flasks or bottles or...
What do you want to be on that table right now?
Yeah, great question.
I would like a beer, a big stein of mead, or some kind of big cup, big ceramic cup or big metal cup.
I was gonna say there are 2 big glass mugs, but they're empty because they finished their drinks.
I'd like to reach down, grab one of those with my improvised weapon, and just pound this guy on the side of the head.
Okay, roll that.
Okay, so...
You are...
And what am I using?
You are ranger, right?
So, improvised weapon, when you make a weapon out of improvised materials around you, roll with cunning. On a hit, you make a weapon. The GM will tell you its range tag, and at least one other beneficial tag based on the materials used.
I got 8.
So, on a 7 to 9, the weapon also has a weakness tag.
All right.
Okay.
That's going to be in a different section entirely.
So, it's probably going to have...
Fragile.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. It still hurt his face.
Yeah.
But it's...
I mean, it could take fragile, it could take slow. I don't think it's really slow.
No, fragile was the thought I was thinking.
Yeah.
But what do you think a good beneficial one of the beneficial tags would be for it?
It could be blunted until it breaks.
Well, it could cause damage when it breaks.
You know what? It could also be heavy bludgeon to ignore your enemy's armor. I think I'll go with that one.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swing I'm going to say, "Nobody talk bad about my mother," and I whack him across the face. Just...
Okay.
So,
now the attack, right?
You're going to engage in melee.
All right.
When you engage an enemy in melee at close or intimate range, roll with might. On a hit, trade harm. On a 10+, pick 3. On a 7 to 9, pick 1.
I got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You got an 11. All right. So, under engage in melee, your options are inflict serious harm, which +1 harm to him. Suffer little harm, meaning -1. Shift your range 1 step, or impress, dismay, or frighten your foe. And you pick 3 of those 4.
Ooh.
Is it on my list here?
It's under weapon moves.
Underneath, on the cheat sheet, right?
Yeah, probably. It's not in your playbook. It's a basic move.
Engage melee. Pick 3. So I get to pick 3 of these. Inflict would be +1 harm to him, correct?
Yep.
So I'll inflict.
Okay.
I will frighten. I think he'd be frightened with me whacking him in the face because he's talking shit about my mother.
Absolutely.
And let's see. Shift my range. He should suffer. If he suffers, I take 1 harm. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to trade harm.
Yeah.
So you're harming him, he's harming you.
Yeah, we are abstracting not a single blow, but the fight.
Okay, and so shift would be my range. Like I could step back. Is that correct? Is that what this is saying?
So you can. So essentially, like, pretend you both are going to do 1 harm.
Yes.
You can take inflict serious harm, so that you're doing 2 harm.
Yep.
You can suffer little harm, so he'd be doing no harm to you. You can shift your range 1 step, so that you're getting out of range of him for any retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
And you can impress, dismay, or frighten him.
So I'd like to inflict, shift, and frighten.
And so also to point out, if you would like to, I don't know if this guy has armor, but if he does have armor, you can mark 1 exhaustion to ignore his armor when you inflict this harm.
Well, I already gave the Stein the blunted or heavy bludgeon.
Yeah, no, so heavy bludgeon, mark exhaustion to ignore your enemy's armor when you inflict harm.
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mark exhaustion and ignore his armor.
Okay. Go for it.
What do I need to do?
So I'm trying to figure out. He gets +1 harm. That means that I'm trying to figure out what the base harm exchanged is, because we have +1 for 1 choice, -1 for another choice, but plus or minus from what?
What type of like? I'm assuming what type of weapon is he using, or does he have a harm listed? What kind of weapon is he using in retaliation?
Hold on a moment, and I will let you know, because I do have that. He is using a sword that is well maintained.
How rude! I just hit him with a mug.
Right, at which point he drew his sword.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Howard!
Let's see. That's a good sword thingy here. We'll say I'll equate it to the pre-made Foxfolk longsword here. Weapon skill.
Yeah. I'm assuming the base damage is just going to be 1 harm.
I will go with that for now. I have nothing else, and I don't want to spend any more time on it. But yeah, you'll do 2 harm to him because you chose to deal an extra 1.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll do 1 to you, but oh, you didn't choose the one that would minus that. So he'll do 1 to you. And then you're stepping away out of his range?
Yes.
All right.
So he'll do 1 harm to me. Where do I mark that? Injury?
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
because you frightened him, he's going to go ahead and bounce unless someone stops him.
Perfect. I want him to bounce.
Yeah, I'm not going to get in his way.
Nope, I'm staying out of his way.
All right.
And
So
when he rushes out, I'm gonna rush to him and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And,
it's nothing,
friendly.
just some fucking animal. I don't even know what it was, man. It was like a ferret mouse thing. Hit me with a stein.
oh, unprovoked, I assume.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. It was with a bat. Bat said I talked trash about her mom, so I did. And yeah, fuck it. I ain't got time for this.
Oh well, I know those guys. They're no good.
Yeah, no kidding.
Do you mind if I tag along?
What, with me?
Yeah.
All right. Why?
I don't know. I'm always looking for a little fun here and there, a little excitement.
What
This
kind
is
of fun?
I
I
don't
can think
know.
of a couple kinds of fun that 2 badgers could get up to.
Well, more along the lines of a good fight.
Oh, well, if you want, we can go back in there and mop the floor with that ferret and her bat friend.
Nah, we should just leave them to their business and get out of here, I think.
All right.
It's got to be some way to profit from a fight, right? Wink,
Well,
wink.
I know a couple ways if you're into that sort of business.
I've been known to toss a few people for coin.
It's about picking your targets properly. You know, if you see some vagabonds walking through the path and you don't know who they are and they don't look like they have a lot of coin on them, maybe you just let them go, especially if one of them's a big badger.
Such as yourself?
Or yourself. I think, Nesta, I'm going to ask you to roll luck on this.
Luck, yeah. 'Cause
Just flat
you may have
luck
seen
roll.
us from the tree lines, right?
Yeah.
Flat luck.
So this roll is going to determine how sure he is that you're the person he saw.
Okay, luck 0. Oh my god, that's an 11 on the dice.
Thank you, Misery. Page 93. 11 on the dice. Incredible. Yeah, so your behavior of just expertly playing dumb in this exchange has convinced him that he was probably mistaken. And so he'll turn to you and start to head out of town with you. What is your what is your next move here with this guy? Are you planning to go with him back to the bandit hideout or what?
I think so, since that was kind of what was implied with 0.
All right.
Get a key on their location, so maybe I can sneak out later and come back and 0 can burn it to the ground.
Okay, so while you head out that way, I'm going to come back to Sable, Gable, and 0. Lena saw that whole thing. She had not yet left the tavern when you called out.
No,
About-
because he was still haranguing her.
Yeah, he was, and they were moving towards the door at the time, but she had not left yet. So she's just kind of dumbfounded, and she looks at you two, not so much Sable, but she looks at you two, and she's like, "What Was that supposed to be you helping me? What was that?
Well, it looked like you were having a bit of a issue with
Victor,
that
that guy was being a dick. I mean, come on.
Well, he's. If that was your intention, then thank you.
It was.
What's a good alliance without help, right?
Alliance. Do we know each other?
Well, you were talking to a friend of ours.
Miss Duskclaw.
Come again?
Miss Duskclaw? Friend of
Yeah,
yours?
yeah.
I see. I didn't realize she had brought a crew with her.
Well, I mean, we're a crew and we work together.
I see.
We're good like that. We get results.
She's now going to glance over at Sable. I think it's fairly reasonable that she could tell you guys are twins, or at least related. Just 3 of you?
Well, technically 4.
With Nesca. All right.
But it looked like you were having trouble with that guy. Does he cause you much trouble?
Miss Duskclaw implied an exchange of favors. Now, I'm not the kind of person who hires out for other people to lose their lives. But if you can find a way to get rid of Flank, it would go quite a ways towards making the Union favorable to your cause.
Well, that's what we were actually hoping for. So if we took care of this guy, you said you don't really condone murder. What if we made him leave town?
As long as he's
I
gone.
over at Gable. I mean, technically, he doesn't live in town.
Yeah.
True. But what if we made him leave the path between our two?
As
Gable,
lo-
he can still bother another path.
As long as he and his crew are off the path between Open Sky and Patchwood and out of my hair, and not on any of the other paths that are adjacent to Open Sky. As long as he's gone, I will not ask questions about where he went.
I can work with that.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not condoning murder.
Of course, of
Didn't
course.
say you were.
Self-defense, always.
Okay. She doesn't like that you put it that way, but she's gonna nod at you guys and then head out.
Oh, Miss Lena, one more thing.
Yes.
Does the Trailblazers Union have any leads on where Flank Rollwood's crew hangs out, other than the path between Open Sky Haven and Patchwood?
We have reason to believe they move around between several locations. They must be close right now for Flank to have come in town for a drink.
And have y'all ever gotten any idea how many people make up his crew?
It is at least half a dozen, probably as many as a dozen.
Well, that's not a bad number.
Now, I would like all 4 of you, out of character, I would like all 4 of you to add a new faction to your reputation trackers down there. And
Yep.
this will be Flank's Bandits.
Oh,
And Nesta, you can give yourself a +1. Gable and Zero can give yourself a -1.
oh wait. That is me. So just we're advancing -1.
Yeah. You two have notoriety with flank.
Yeah.
And I assume I'm at a 0.
You're at a 0. He didn't even see you.
Yeah. I was inconspicuous.
Yes. Great. So before I cut back to Nesta and Flank, what do you think the three of you are going to do next?
Well, I think it's important to find out where Nest is. We don't want
Right.
Nest
Maybe we
in
could
trouble.
try to follow somehow.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, if we find Nesta, I mean, the plan is we find Nesta, we find Flank.
Right.
Right.
So as long as we find Flank, we find Nesta.
My other suggestion was, what if we go out and accidentally get accosted by his crew?
What, you mean like steal like some merchant's cart and make our like doll ourselves up to look all fancy and rich?
Yeah, make ourselves look like a target. Something that they can't resist.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather find wherever they're camped out I'd rather go to them than have them come to us.
Yeah, they would have the advantage, I would think.
That's
I
fair.
prefer to work from the shadows, as you know.
That's fair.
Arguably, they have the advantage no matter what if you follow them out into the path. But, of course, you have moves to try.
If
Yeah.
we disguised ourselves as, an elderly couple, just trying to move produce from one clearing to another.
All
I
right.
don't think you want to steal produce.
So,
Or something that would be of value.
are you guys then going to do the disguise, or are you going to just try and follow right now?
Let's start with trying to follow, and if that doesn't work, let's revisit my idea.
All right.
What do you guys think? What do you think, Zero?
I would prefer that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Nesta, are you doing anything intentionally to make it easier for them to follow you?
Yeah, I was just gonna say retroactively. Yeah.
I was thinking it, but I didn't want to. I was trying not to be all like, oh, it would have been nice if we had said, hey, maybe leave us some kind of breadcrumb trail.
Right.
I would say that like every now and then I'll kind of like just drag my hammer in the dirt to generate like a scar in the ground.
Okay. I think I'd like you to roll to do that without him noticing. This could be potentially trick an NPC, or perhaps you have a roguish feat about it.
My roguish feat is not. I don't think it's applicable here. It is just acrobatics.
It's acrobatics, yeah, it's not applicable. Trick. Or you can just trust fate. Roll, which would be a luck roll. Or trick an
Luck
NPC.
versus cunning. Either one works.
Up to you.
I think I'll just trust fate on that.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I think that works better.
Yeah. So luck, I have a 0 on luck. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So much for that. It's a 6.
Okay, he's like, why you keep scraping the ground?
This I will explain away with. Oh God, I didn't even really realize. I just, hammer's feeling heavy today.
Hammer's feeling heavy. You know what's feeling heavy to me? This series of marks you've left in the ground here. maybe I'll just go back and brush those out so no one thinks we're vandalizing the path. You know, Lena gets real upset about that kind of thing.
Oh, all right. Understood. Well, apologies. I think I made the first one back closer to town. Trying to, player to player, lead him back so you can actually get a visual on us at this time. Either way, it's going to work out, right?
I'm trying to decide what he does next. I think he's gonna say, why don't you go ahead and show me where you left that first mark.
All right, well, follow me.
Okay. I am here. Here's where I'm at, and maybe Jason or one of you other guys can help me with the rules on this. I believe that his next move right now is to punch Nesta in the back of the head. But the rules all seem to assume that you guys are the ones who are initiating the combat all the time.
Okay, so here's the thing. Mia, what you got a 6 on that Trust Fate?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, that's what's getting you the punch in the back of the head.
Fair. Yeah.
That's the consequence of missing that. So he would he could do a punch to the back of the head. If he's just doing like a bare hand just pop, you could say it's like doing 1 exhaustion as opposed to actual inflicting harm.
I think that he is just using a fist right now. He's not drawing his sword over this. He's trying to knock you out. So exhaustion does make the most sense.
What the hell, man? Or Badger?
Takes more than one to not put you down, huh? Who are you trying to lead to my place?
Nobody.
Are you in with that ferret mouse thing and her bat friend?
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Maybe I'll just hold on to that hammer, and you and me can head out to the hideout, huh? How about that?
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, why don't you hand me that? He's gonna pull his sword out.
Oh, I'm gonna hand it to him, all right.
Oh, are you?
I am.
Give it to him.
I am gonna give him a whack with that hammer at this point.
All right. So you are exchanging blows here, engaging in melee?
Engaging in melee.
All right. Roll with might.
I could go for... Is he wear any armor? That's what the cleave does, is beat up his armor, but...
Yeah, he is wearing leather armor.
I just soon slap him with engage melee instead. How about that? So +2.
So when you cleave armored foes at close range, you could the cleave would be a separate move from the engaging in melee.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit him. I just want to hit him right now.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so +2 for my might. Come on, dice, play along. Oh yeah. That's 13.
Oh,
That sounded good.
pick 3.
I'm going to inflict harm.
Okay. Except for inflict serious harm.
I want to basically impress the hell out of this guy.
Okay.
And then shift my range to get away from him.
Same 3 moves as Gable earlier. Okay. But you are going to take one from his sword in the process.
Okay.
unless you change one of your choices to suffer little harm.
Yeah, you know what? I think I will do that. I'll stay in his range and do that. Suffer no harm. It says -1, but
so you pull out your hammer. You probably deflect, or I guess you already have it out. You lift it up. You probably deflect the blow of his sword with the pommel, and then lay into him for the second time in 20 minutes, giving him 2 harm. And he is impressed. However, you guys have done this not exactly in the clearing, but right on the edge, because you were headed back looking for that first mark. And I think you were successful in doing this where Zero and Sable and Gable could see you. So other people can also see you, is the problem. You're now in a fight with a bandit in view of the town. And that is, I think, a good place to stop for the night.
Okay, so
whack.
if the 3 of us see this,
Yep.
I'm definitely putting arms out. You know, hey, let's see how it plays out.
Of course.
I would like to disappear into the dark if we're close enough to the woods.
Okay.
I'd like to use the edge of the woods and do my little disappearing trick.
Yeah, all right.
And saying that specifically because if Nesta does impress Flank with this show of strength,
It might
we
stop
still need to make it back to his camp to deal with these guys.
the rest of
Right.
them. Yep.
Then
Yeah,
maybe
The idea.
you other two can just stand there and chat like you don't care what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah, the idea of impressing him is just like doing that like small talk in the battle. Oh yeah, what do you think of that? Don't think I'd be a worthy member of your crew, do you? Or don't you? That kind of thing.
And I think while I'm watching this go down, I'm making a little bit of a concoction and sticking it on one of my arrows. And I think I'm going to put sleep on that arrow. Just
Awesome.
to notch it. I'm gonna make sure I notch it and put it in my quiver. But I'm gonna do that and have that available.
Oh no, that's so you notch it, like you're like, oh, like shit's going down, I'm gonna help, and Zero's like, wait, like let's see this play out first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I take it off and stick it in my quiver and be like, okay, I got
our help. We'll know, but she's doing all right.
And I think, I said that we were going to end right there, but I think I want to get to whether or not Nesta's attempt to impress this guy is going to result in going back to his lair. So let me think about that for a second. You have successfully impressed him. That's just a choice that you make. So does it make him want to take you back?
Could I try and use the persuade in NPC at this point?
I think at this
With a
point, yeah, I think
pony.
that the impress gets you the opportunity to do that, because
All right.
a second ago he thought you were trying to get him killed.
All right. +1 on my charm. Oh, 7. Very yeah, that's very suitable actually, considering.
Okay, so he's not sure. In order to sway him to see it the way you want him to, you're going to have to do something basically to earn his respect as a fellow ruffian. Like, probably hurt someone else.
Oh, yeah, I'm not willing to do that.
Or, you can make eye contact with me and I can wink at you so you can, feign a punch to my face or...
Well, GM,
Yeah.
who?
in order to make the proper impression on him, it would have to be someone that he thinks is out to get him, right? So Nesta needs to protect this guy to counteract his feeling that she's trying to get him hurt.
So maybe you see me and you're going like, hey, isn't that weasel that fucking hit you with that goblet earlier?
Yeah. So that's up to Nesta. Do you want to do it, or do you want to let this opportunity go for now?
I've given you the nod that you can,
I would say we've adventured enough that I know that nod and that wink. And I'm like, we kind of like shift around, battles, exchange a few words, and I'm like, wait. Is that what you were calling a weird weaselly thing? As I kind of like point my hammer at him.
Oh yeah, he'll turn and look. Oh yeah, that's the one that hit me with a beer glass.
Oh, I wonder.
That other one looks just like her.
I wonder what their beef with you is. Hey, you!
Yeah, what do you want? And I've got some like parkour bullshit, so maybe I can feign like you hit me, I feign. Oh yeah!
Did you say
Knock me out or
parkour? Because that's
Parkour.
awesome. I think it's parkour here.
Oh, parkour. Oh,
Parkour. All right, well, I'll do that. Basically, try and make it look good, but also kind of pull my blow at the same time.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you already rolled persuade, and this was what was necessary. I don't think there's a roll required for the two of you to just fake getting hit. That's fine. And I think it works. He's gonna. Sable's already hidden from sight. Zero is just sort of hanging back, I guess.
So Zero's goes, oh wait, no, come on, we don't have any beef with her. Come on, no, F them. Like, just don't even engage with them. Like he's pretending to try and hold Gable back.
Okay, and then Gable already is out, so
Gable's like, oh no, man, F this.
called my mother and blah blah blah.
Shove Zero aside, and then Gable and Nesta go at it.
All right. Yeah, so this is gonna work. He thinks you're one of the guys now, and he's gonna bring you back to his base, where you can meet the crew.
Nice.
And if they don't all like you, maybe you get stabbed. Who knows?
I watched the whole thing from the shadows.
Do I get a bump on my reputation with that guy?
Yeah,
or
you
gotta
do.
Wait to meet the band.
You do get a bump on your reputation with him.
Okay.
And this is good because Sable can follow you, and then we follow Sable.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Now,
that was exciting.
yes, it was. So we're gonna pause the story there for the week. We'll come back next week to it. So your drives. Has everyone been checking your drives to see if you have advanced at all during this session?
Sadly, no.
Well,
My drives.
Well,
Not
I
remotely.
stole that. I snatched that ring from that guy. Does that count as a serious payday or not? I don't know how much it's worth.
nah, I wouldn't call that a serious payday.
Okay. Well, and I didn't escape from certain death or incarceration, so I guess no.
Like,
All
I'm
right.
working on getting my drives to ping.
Well,
Don't worry about that.
no, you
Yeah,
did.
I didn't.
You did ping a drive, Zero. You pinged infamy. Advance when you decrease your reputation with any faction.
Well, so I've honestly been thinking that's going to hit when I hit those negative, when I hit the actual modifiers, as
Okay.
opposed to just getting a little bit of infamy.
Yeah,
That seemed
the
a little
language on those is tricky throughout.
Yeah, just because like technically my rep with flanks bandits hasn't actually decreased yet.
Because it started at -1, you're saying?
Well, because it's 0, and I've only advanced 1 point on that reputation.
Yeah, it's.
So when
I will spend time trying to answer that between now and next week, because I think it's like you might be right, but like at the same time, I have noticed they are using the words for checking a box and checking an entire like step interchangeably.
Yeah, well, I'm also like I'm interpreting it that way because there's a bunch of stuff I'd like to advance, and if I got to advance every little tick of the way,
yeah,
I mean that'd be great. I'd love to advance for like getting my Aerie Dynasty's reputation down to that -1, but technically that didn't happen.
I think
in play.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, considering if if I were running things a little bit differently, your reputation could be changing a lot, and that would be a lot of advances. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and I am looking at my drives. I know what my drives are, and I got plans for all of that shit. Boy, howdy. Don't you worry.
What about Nesta? Advance when you achieve justice? I don't know that happened in this session.
Yeah, I didn't come anywhere near that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for playing this Friday, for our viewers. I'll be back with Shadows of Archonia 2 on the other show. That'll be episode 47. And our last one for the year. We'll be back in January. And then this show, we got one more Monday, and then that'll be our last one for the year. And I don't know if Root is going to be done next week or if we'll take it to January. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it.